Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm a fellow of Rules Issue of Canada, broker of record for City Pro Realty Inc. brokerage and your host. Today we are hosting our last episode on Awaz Entertainment. Our topic today is real estate prediction for 2024. We have received Toronto Regional Real Estate Market Watch report for December 2023, and we'll share that information. Then we'll talk about the factors that are affecting the real estate market and how we can reasonably predict the future of real estate in 2024. So most important thing we have to indicate to you is that this information that I'm sharing with you is the Market Watch information for Toronto Regional Real Estate Board data released recently. This is a year-end 2023 stats. Our average price as compared to transaction, we compared with 2022, our price has reduced by 5.4% in 2023 as compared to average price of 2022 based on the volume. Our volume of transaction has reduced 12.1%. In 2022, we have a sale of 75,047 transactions through Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. And average price after those transactions in 2022 was $1,189,736, an average price of a home. So when we talk about average price, this is based on total transaction to Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. So that means if you have to estimate a value of your property in your specific location, your street, geographic location, your city, you need to contact local real estate professional to help you to estimate the value of your property. Therefore, this is an average price of all transactions. Then we're going to talk about our sale prices based on what we have. Now, our average price for 2022 based on 65,982 transactions is $1,126,604. That's an average price based on 65,982 transactions this year in 2023. So when we talk about, again, average price is based on the transaction went through Toronto Regional Real Estate Board MLS system. There is a ITSO, it has a 2021 board. There are other smaller real estate board which may have their own MLS system. Some of them are using TRAP, some are using the ITSO, someone are only using one over the other, and some listing may not be on TRAP or ITSO. So it depends. So you need to check with that. So that shows you, now we have to look at the ups and downs about this. So average 12.1% decline in sales transactions, and average price as compared to all transaction to 2022 versus 23 is 5.4% reduction. So that means the inflation, interest rate, benchmark rates established by Bank of Canada, obviously it affected lots of mortgages, affordability, buying. We have discussed that in a lot of episodes. So therefore, there was a lot of challenge for someone to buy the property or someone to maintain the property. And then they end up putting more property in the marketplace. So that is why we also have a reduction in sales. So 22 was very significant in terms of value appreciation, but it has really impacted us in real estate. So now what we look at this is that immigration is increasing more. People came in 23 and 24, there will be a lot more immigrations coming. Did our supply and demand ratio has changed or not? We still have a shortage of housing. Our interest rates are still high. We need more housing. Did the federal government provide a lot of funding? And Ontario government has 1 per 5 million homes planned for next 1 year, 10 year. They are working on it. So there are lots of collective efforts by the federal and provincial government, but and also municipality to expedite the approval process. I think they're still slow, and the process of getting approval is very slow. We have a couple of experiences with getting a building permit or getting a zoning change or getting a committee of adjustment approval or the municipal level is very time consuming for builders. So therefore, that problem has not solved. Now, if the inflation rate continues to decline, and good news is that most economists are projecting there will be a decline in the benchmark rate by Bank of Canada. Obviously, it will also help reduce the borrowing costs for home ownership. But it's been really challenging, very difficult for everyone to manage the expenses. And this is why we have, so I'm going to share those data with you, and then we talk about that. So, for example, in the year-over-year summary, this is again TREB price, the report shown on a Market Watch. So in 2022, in December, we have 3,090 transactions. In 2023, we have a 3,444 transactions. So this compares to December to December. And we have 11.5% more transaction as compared to December, because you have a holidays season and even short period of, we have lots of holidays. But the increase, real estate transaction increase as compared to December. But if you look at the sale in November, we were minus 6.2 as compared to November. If you look at the same thing during October, we were minus 6.1. So there was a trend of reduced transaction. And obviously, we have a positive real estate increase. So remember, I mentioned about 3%. So if you look at the average price of December, we have a 3.5% increase in value as compared to December. So December in 22, it was 1,050,569. And average price in 2023 is 1,084,692. So therefore, the average price has increased, average based on this. But when we look at the overall transaction, our average price is 1,126,604. That is based on TREB data. So we have looked at the overall average to calculate that. So if you look at the average price, 3.2% increase. So list day on the market, it used to be 27 days, now it's 32 days. It's taking actually much longer. It depends on the value of the property for sale. If they are close to or below $1.2 million, most of these property will move. But if you are going over 1.2 to 2 million, is a different scenario, because affordability is an issue. you need a significant amount of income to qualify for the mortgage. Or especially if you are upgrading, you need a lot of deposit equity from your house. This is very, very difficult to buy directly a $2 million house unless you have a cash deposit in your account, saving in your account, or you have to sell a house that has a equity in it, because equity play a big role in rearranging financing or upgrading, or if you want to downgrade yourself and then you want to make sure that you can draw money out and you can move away from the big city to a smaller city, and you have similar or better housing but much less money. Now, property day on the market, it increased to 22.5% from 40 days last year, 40 days in December last year to 49 days. So everything is taking longer to sell. If you look at this scenario, that when we started 2023, our sale. You are on Realty Coffee Talk live. Manish, can I help you?
Yes, I wanted to find out about your predictions for this upcoming real estate world. I'm looking to invest, and should I invest in Canada or should I hold?
We're going to talk about that. We're just going through the process. In a few minutes, you will hear about the predictions. Okay.
Okay.
We're going toward that direction right now, because our interest rate, we're hoping to start declining hopefully in second quarter. It depends on how far they go. Most likely 0.25%, which I predict that is going to be 0.25% in second quarter, up to 0.75 in end of 2024. So it's not rapidly going down in order to encourage the banks to reduce rate, but I am hearing from the banks that they are already gone to 5% with some bank 5-year fix. So it all depends on how the interest rate will react and everything else, because our shortage of housing is still a problem at the moment. So we're going to talk about, we're just continuing with that. Just did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I look forward to hearing more information. But as a Canadian, about investing overseas, is there going to be information about that, on how that would be a perspective to look at when looking at investing?
You know, because I'm a certified international property specialist, and I have lots of network globally, but the interest rates are high in U.S. as well as in Canada, even though there are a lot of opportunity in the United States as compared to what we have here, because we have a very shortage of supply, and especially investment property. Your problem is that rental will not cover the investment you're going to make in buying a property here right now, unless you have a double income, you have a second dwelling. For example, your basement is a separate legal basement, and you are getting two income, then you may be able to justify your investment. And if your income is based on only a main and above second story, you may not be able to justify. You may have to carry some money from your pocket to support your investment, at least for next two to 3 years. I do not expect interest rate going below 4%. It's going to be between 4 and 5, and you're looking at 27 to 28, 2027, 2028. So keep in mind, you have to look at the reports. I will suggest that you should talk to economist or financial advisor who is doing wealth management and give you advice on that. In terms of real estate right now, there will be a slight difference, about 0.5% to 0.75 projected. unless something happens and the inflation start picking up, because it depends on government policies, and you have to talk to the expert with the relevant competency. So I hope that they will answer your question. Yes, if you need to talk to property, I have lots of professionals, and I can make a refer to you. If you can call me directly off the show, then I will be able to provide you some connection overseas. So we are going to continue. Thank you very much for calling.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye. So we have a gentleman talking about investing in real estate in Canada. Again, the biggest challenge that we have is a shortage of supply, plus the interest rates make it very difficult to finance. Reason being is, if you are investing a property, the bank will want you to put more equity into your house because they want to rely on it. Particularly when you have putting 20% and more your contribution as a conventional mortgage. But house may not cover based on income of the two levels. So now each municipality and the government of Ontario has encouraged that you can create a second dwelling on the property. Toronto has a different options that you can have a separate, a small a room with the facilities as a second dwelling, or you can do your basement and create income. So you invest money, and about 1,000 square feet basement will cost you about $80,000 to $100,000, and with that you can get more financing, and also most cases basement are now running $25,000 to $3,000 because there is a shortage of housing. If you have a good size basement, 2-bedroom with a kitchen, with a separate laundry room, everything. So it depends on it. So you need to have an income from your basement. You also have an income from second floor, because you're talking about investment property. Gentlemen who call talk about investment property. Therefore, you have to make sure that you are you have income, two income. Let's say your house rent for an average house about 2,200 square feet. Let's say it rents for 4,000. You have a double garage, and you have enough parking that you can share with the tenant. So then you have basement. If let's say it's a smaller house, so I'm talking about, so you get about 2,500 for the basement. So your income is 6,500. That may justify an investment for a particular property. You have two choices: whether you have the property with the basement already done, or you have the ability to get the approval, get a concept drawing, design, everything done, and then you do it, and temporarily you rent it for the upstairs, but the downstairs you will get it redone, get your permit. Because if you want to make sure you have a liabilities are covered and you're renting it, there's a lots of safety requirement, and you can get it done. City will support you. They will approve you, provided that you have a safety concern address, building code says you have a separate parking. There's access windows for safety, and you have a separate entrance. You have extra parking. Some places you don't need a parking, and you still get basement approved. So this is why it's very important to have an income that requires to justify you this. I know some of my one or two my client, they bought a property in Oakville from me, and they know from the day one that they will be paying about $1,000 to $1,500 a month over and above. But the value appreciation went over $1 million in 1 year. So if he has to pay, let's say, $12,000 a year from his pocket, but he made over $1 million in 1 year for appreciation of value. So this is why you have to sit down and calculate that are you looking a short-term investment or you're looking a long-term investment. You have to look at the overall picture. How much is going to cost you from your pocket or is going to break even? First idea is to make sure it's break even point. That means you are investing money in a basement to make sure it's a licensed legal dwelling and you got the permit and you rented it. So you probably will break even. If not, you want to invest money in the basement to do that. Second thing is, if you don't want to invest money and let's say you already have a basement and you're short of $1,000. So you look at this, how much are you expecting to pay for it? A monthly basis. So let's assume there is a discrepancy about $1,000 a month. So what would be the appreciation that we see? In my experience, every 10 years, the property value has doubled. And last 21, we have 18% increase in value. So in 2023, what we have seen is we have seen a reduction in average price because our volume went down, our average price went down. Therefore, in 2024, we are expected to increase the value because your interest rate is going to go down. Believe me, in the United States and other areas, they're paying a lot more interest rate. We're not just used to it, but I think we have now, in last 2 years, experience, we have learned, and we have now shared the information to educate everyone that you need to be prepared, plan your financial decision, because real estate is the most expensive decision of your lifetime. It has a consequences. If you are buying a prime home, if you can afford it, don't sell it, because you won't be able to buy it back in 4 years, 5 years down the line, because prices will be escalating again. So if you are doing investment like this gentleman mentioned, then you have to look at what is my carrying cost? What is my projection? It appears to me that this year, in 2024, my prediction is that I have said it before, you're talking about 3.3 to 3.5% increase in 2024 to catch up with the average price of 2023 in 2024. So if you're looking at yes, we are increasing now. So now are we comparing with 23 or comparing with 22? So 22 to 23, overall, we lost 5.3%. So how are we going to catch up with that? So when we are now comparing with 23, so we are minus 5.3. And as you can see, the Toronto Canadian Real Estate Association has projected positive cash flow, positive sales, positive increase in price. So now we are expecting the interest rate is going to go down, price is going to slightly come up. So I am predicting about 3.3 to 3.5% average price increase overall in 2024. And this is why. So if you're talking about $1 million, and imagine that 3% or 3.5, 3,500 every 100,000 increase will happen. So you're looking at, let's say, 35,000 for 1 million value property. So if you are paying $1,000 from your pocket for now, if you are in a deficit, so you have to look at the value that your appreciation will be greater than what you will be paying to carry the property. Your equity, you will be building equity. Remember, when you get a mortgage, I'm a principal brokerage of Canada Express Mortgage. I have a license number 13241. So I can talk about the mortgage. So if your equity is greater than, equity appreciation is greater than than the amount of money that you have to pay to carry the property. So you are in a positive territory. On top of that, 40% of the mortgage payment you will be making will be going toward principal. So you need to add that too. That will be going toward your equity, because the more money you're putting in, approximately 40% will be going toward your principal and 60% going toward interest. Plus, if value appreciates now, let's say 3.5% in 2024, that will be added to you, to your equity of the home, because when you sell the property, I do not recommend people selling property within 1 year. At least they should have at least 3 years of gap between the day they bought it and by the time they sell it. The longer it takes to sell it, longer time you do it, is you will have a better deal, because this economics cycle, it impacts everyone, and you have to allow the market to adjust and cool down and relax. Shortage of housing will continue to be a problem for across Canada. And right now, I do not see any mechanism, any momentum where they're going to increase the volume, because the cost of material has gone up, production has gone down, and there's lots of challenges that impacted the appetite for the house, because we need the house. So we're going to take a short break, and we come back and we continue our conversation about real estate prediction for 2024.
मशरकी तहजीब की खूबसूरत दास्तान, बरसों से चली आ रही रिवायतों का पासबान, खुशबू और जायके का वही कदरदान, करते हैं हर खाने में अपने लज्जत का एहतमाम। हर पकवान है बेमिसाल, हर खुशबू है लाजवाब। कढ़ाई पॉइंट, जायका ऐसा कि दिल जीत ले। आज ही हमारे कढ़ाई पॉइंट तशरीफ लाएं और अपनी खुशियों को हमारे संग मनाएं। कढ़ाई पॉइंट, मेड विद क्वालिटी and flavored with passion.
Popeyes has opened a brand new location in downtown Vancouver. Satisfy your craving for Cajun at this new location off West Georgia and Hamilton Street, where you'll find all your favorite Louisiana-inspired menu items. We sampled the unrivaled trio of sandwiches, the classic, the deluxe, and the blackened deluxe chicken sandwich, and all were delicious. All of the signature fried chicken is marinated for 12 hours, then hand-battered and breaded, served with Cajun fries and mac and cheese on the side. Plus, for a limited time, you can try Popeye's Crispy Chicken Wrap, available now until September 3rd. Check out the new Popeye's location at 700 Hamilton Street today. Who are you bringing with you? Tag them in the comments.
This is the latest opening in BC for Popeyes, with more openings coming soon in both Alberta and BC by PLK Group.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
अगर आपको दुबई या मिडल ईस्ट नुमा ज़ेवरात की तलाश है, तो आपको दूर जाने की बिल्कुल जरूरत नहीं। आज ही हमारे मिसिसागा रिजवे स्टोर तशरीफ लाइए, अल करम ज्वेलर्स। हमारे पास सोने के बेहतरीन कंगन, कड़े, झुमके, हार और सोने के सेट्स भी दस्तयाब हैं। शादी हो या मेहंदी या कोई भी फंक्शन, आपकी पसंद के तमाम ज़ेवरात आपको हमारे स्टोर में मौजूद मिलेंगे। आज ही हमारे स्टोर पर तशरीफ लाइए, अल करम ज्वेलर्स, 3465 प्लैटिनम ड्राइव, यूनिट 99, मिसिसागा, या फिर कॉल करें 905-828-0009। अल करम ज्वेलर्स, फरमाइश आपकी, गारंटी हमारी।
Q Wireless and Computer, अपने तमाम डिवाइसेस, फोन्स, आईपैड्स, टैबलेट्स, मैकबुक्स और लैपटॉप्स के रिपेयर्स और मरम्मत के लिए हमसे आज ही राब्ता कीजिए। हम क्वालिटी एक्सपर्टीज के साथ साथ आपको फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट डायग्नोसिस भी देंगे और डेटा सिक्योरिटी की गारंटी भी। अपने मुफ्त कोड के लिए हमें आज ही कॉल करें 647-350-6606।
HK Movers, home, offices, apartments and delivery, big or small, we move it all.
HK Movers.
Local and long distance, we also ship cars, Keller transport and moving services.
For service with a smile, give us a call.
Call Mr. Harminder 416-524-6704.
416-524-6704 पे.
Visit 140 Advance Boulevard, Unit number 10, Brampton.
Long distance moving specialist.
HK Movers. HK Movers.
मैं नासिर शाह आपका मॉर्गेज ब्रोकर। अगर आपको मॉर्गेज चाहिए किसी तरह की, होटल लेना है, मोटल लेना है, गैस स्टेशन लेना है या किसी प्लाजे में कोई यूनिट बाई करना है, तो उसके लिए आप हमें कॉल करें। हम दो चीजों की गारंटी करते हैं, आपको बेस्ट टर्म्स एंड कंडीशन और बेस्ट रेट दिलाएंगे। आप कॉल करें 647-741-9000, 647-741-9000।
डिक्सी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स और अप्लायंसेस पिछले 16 सालों से खरीदारों की खिदमत कर रहे हैं। हम लगातार 4 सालों से खरीदारों की पहली पसंद बने रहने का अवार्ड हासिल कर चुके हैं। हम किचनर्स, बॉश, वर्लपूल, एलजी, सैमसंग और जनरल इलेक्ट्रिक के ऑथराइज्ड डीलर हैं। 5 स्टार खिदमत का लुत्फ लें। हम आप सभी को टीवी सबसे ज्यादा रियायती दामों पर देने की गारंटी देते हैं। www.dixieelectronics.ca हमारी वेबसाइट पर जाएं या अभी कॉल करें 905-625-5900। सभी बहुत ही मुनासिब कीमत पर दस्तयाब हैं, जो आप बाआसानी से ले सकते हैं। At Dixie, we sell quality and deliver confidence.
Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada around the world. My name is Tahir. I'm a fellow Real Estate of Canada and broker record for City Pro Realty Inc. brokerage. We're talking about real estate prediction for 2024. So let me give you my final information about December pricing and sales. In December 2023, sales and average price by major home category. Our detached home was 1,521. Remember, the TREB has a 416 and 905 area. So there were a total of 1,521 transactions. There were 1,151 transactions in 905 area and 361 in 416 area. The average price of detached home in 416 was 1,626,980 and 905 was 1,351,009. And average between 901 and 416 was 1,418,323. Remember, when we talk about average price, it includes all transactions. Now we're talking about specific home, detached home. It doesn't talk about single home, double garage or triple garage or size of the home. It's just talk about detached home. Semi-detached, we have 416, 128 transactions, and 905, we have 196, a total of 324 transactions in December 23. And average price of a semi-detached was 1,173,171 in 416 and 932,255 in 905, and average price of 1,027,432 for a semi. In townhouses, there were 112 sold in 416, so and 511 were sold, and total of 623 sold. Average price of a townhome is 416 was 1,101,416, and whereas in average price in 905 area was 870,971, and average of combined both was 912,403. This is Toronto Regional Real Estate Board Market Watch information. The condo apartment was sold 641 in 416 and 303 condo units sold in 905, a total of 944. And average price of a condo, it doesn't talk about single, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, talk about, or new or brand, is just talk about condo apartment. 709,283 in 416 and 625,918 in 905 area. Average between the two is 682,525. So based on this data, it shows that more homes, detached homes, were sold as compared to apartment, townhome, or semi-detached. You know why? Because of affordability issues. Because people who own the home were not able to get mortgage. They were maybe considering to relocate, and they wanted to downsize. Many other reasons. And instead of losing their equity, if you know that you cannot afford a mortgage, instead of losing equity, it's better to dispose of the property and buy somewhere else. Never keep the money in the bank, because it's not going to give you the value that you need to buy again. So it's important thing is to reinvest in a different area. Now, year over year percentage of change. So 20.8% home percentage sale change in Toronto, and 11.4% change in 905, and average 13.6% sale change in December. So 416, it was minus 0.3 average price, and 905 has a 3.1% increase. So overall, there was a 2.5% home prices increase in December. Semi-detached, we have a 56.1% sale increase in 416 and 26.5. That means lots of people from 416 areas moving toward 905. Remember, Mississauga, Brampton, Milton, Oakville, these are all 905 area. And you know, you go beyond that certain area, you will have a different code number. So this is surrounding city by Toronto, and that's where the prices are changing. So overall, 36.7% sale in Sami. This could be many reasons. Now, average price increased 416, 1.5% of a Sami in December, year over year. And 905 was a minus 0.1%, 10% of the 1%. So that's where the overall between the two was a 1.7% increase positive. Now you look at the townhome, the 1.8% increase shown for 416 and 24.6 sale increase. So 905 have sold more property in this case for townhome, and average between the two is 19.8%. So if you look at the average price, townhome price increased 25.3% in 416 and 1.2% in 905 area. So average is 5.5% average price increase. So condo was a 0.5% sale transaction year over year, and 905 was a minus 5.0 condo apartment. Overall minus 1.4. Average price for 416 condo minus 4.1 in 416 and minus 1.2 in 905 area. So minus 3.1 for condominium. So you can see that except the detached home that has a positive, if you look at the overall, then townhome overall was positive, semi is positive, but the condo apartment was negative. And these are the prices based on individually. When we talk about the average price based on overall transactions, that is considering all transactions. Now we have talked about the average price. So you can see there is a big difference. Even though our average price is 1.26 million, shown for 1.126 million, but if you look at the detached home 905, price is $1,351,009 for 905 and $1,626,980 in 416 area. So this average is for calculation purposes. You have to not to get panic. You have to look at your data where you're located. You have to talk to real estate professional in your area. If you need any help, you can call my office 905-785-9992 and ask for me. I can help you to calculate the value of your property. So this is for calculation purposes. It is meaningful to certain way. It gives you a little bit trend what's going on. For example, when we started this year in January, we were minus 16.5 average price compared to January. When we reach June, we were positive 3.1% as compared to June. Then we reach September, we were positive 3.0. Then we went to October, we were positive 3.5. Now we are positive 3.2 December to December. So you have to look at this scenario for calculation purposes. You look at the trend. How was the trend in 2023? How was the trend in 2024? It's going to play the game on you because interest rate will play a big role. It depends how the Bank of Canada will see it and how they predict. Economists, they are expert, the bank report. So I encourage all of you to subscribe to Bank of Canada. It will tell you when the rates are going down, and go and read the reports. There are reports there that tell you where they're going with their mindset is. And also good report from CIBC, RBC, all these banks, they have economists, they have lots of experience. They will tell you where the economy is going because we still have a shortage of housing. It's a balanced approach, supply and demand. Demand is still high. Now demand go down. You know why? Because people don't qualify. The value of the prices escalated in 21, almost 18%. That really affected everyone, and shortage of supply continue to be the problem. So I am predicting, as I said, is based on the interest rate. I expect that in 2024, our price will be, average price will increase toward end of the year to about 3.3 to 3.5%. I will take this opportunity to thank you all for watching Realty Coffee Talk on Watch Entertainment. And you can visit my realtycoffeetalk.com, and we continue to have episodes there. You can watch them and see them. We thank you very much for your support and feedback. We really appreciate that. And I like to say thank you very much, the management and the Awaz Entertainment, for giving me to host the Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment. Thank you very much. May God bless you all. God bless Canada. Bye for now.